Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelly. This is actually going to be my April 2023 TBR today. I realized that it's only March 24th, but I was concerned if I didn't get it in now, I wasn't gonna do it, and I do want to do it, so I'm going to do it today. I have a great mix that I'm planning on doing for April. The classics that I'm gonna talk about first is, first and foremost, I've always wanted to read this book in April and have just never done it. So I am so excited to be reading the Enchanted April in April. So this is by Elizabeth Van Arnim, and I think it's more like Von Arnim, not Van. Yes, Elizabeth Von Arnim, that's how you say it. And this is about 4 different women who are going to be going to like this medieval castle in Italy. And they're each escaping from some sort of reality in their real life to just kind of get away and enjoy themselves. So we'll see if I like this or not. It could go either way. Sometimes books about groups of women are wonderful, and sometimes books about groups of women are not so wonderful. So we'll see. The next book that I plan to start in April, that is a classic that I do not plan on finishing in the month of April. I plan to take this slowly, is East of Eden by John Steinbeck. I have loved other of his works before, of Mice and Men. Now this was when I was a teenager that I tried to do this, and I'm ashamed to be an Okie, I guess, but I've tried to read Grapes of Wrath before, and I DNF'd it, but I was much younger. I think if I read Grapes of Wrath now, I would probably love it. So a lot of people that read similarly to me seem to love East of Eden, and of course this is a book that parallels the Eden story of the Bible. So I'm very interested to see how I like this one. All right, after I get my classics, those are my 2 classics, I will be telling you about the one memoir style book that I'm reading this month, and that would be Jinger Duggar Vuolo's Becoming Free Indeed. And this is, she's kind of deconstructing things that she learned as a child that she feels were not necessarily biblical as a Christian. Now she is going back and she's kind of taking things that she learned and comparing them to what she realizes now that the Bible says. And there's some things that she feels were not necessarily healthy and biblical that she learned as a child. I've heard that this is very good because she does it without knocking her family, and in fact kind of brings up things that she thinks they did well, which I appreciate someone, especially someone who claims Christ, to do. So I can't wait to, I can't say that I'm necessarily going to enjoy this read because I'm sure it's probably a pretty painful story for her, but I think it's important to hear these types of stories. All right, I'm going to be continuing on. I've started it and it's very interesting so far. Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. I'm doing this as a buddy read with Nicole from Dusty Book Sniffer, and I am 4 chapters in, and that's taken me to page 118. I only have about 800 pages to go, I think. So I started this for March, said I didn't plan to finish it in March. I'm just gonna be taking my time, few chapters here and there to get through this, and I'm just going to enjoy it and take it slow. All right, so I have a goal this year to also finish series that I have started in the past, and I became kind of like, oh, there's a pretty flower, there's a pretty flower, there's a pretty flower when I got on BookTube. I got influenced by all these other wonderful things I was seeing from other BookTubers, and I did not finish series that I was enjoying and had already started. So that is a goal for 2023, to finish up series. So I'll be reading the 3rd book in the Ember and the Ashes series by Sabaa Tahir. Sorry, it's Reflecting Reaper at the Gates. And so this series is about a girl who she has the girl on, which side were you thinking about? This girl right here. She grew up as a scholar, and scholars are actually hated in the society that she grew up in. The military type people run the society, and her family has really had a hard time because they had rebellious parents, so that have rebelled against the militaristic society. We find out a lot about her and what she can do that's special and how she can lead in the first 2 books, and this is just a continuation of that. As she's going through the hardships that the Chosen One often goes through. I think it's the Chosen One trope done well. All right, next I will be reading the 2nd book in the trilogy, which is starts with A Curse So Dark and Lonely. This is A Heart So Fierce and Broken, and this was a Beauty and the Beast retelling, which I usually don't just absolutely love those, but I did really enjoy the first book in this one, and I look forward to seeing what happens next. I will definitely have to kind of remind myself what happened in the first book first, but then the last series that I'm trying to continue on with this month is Finale, which is the 3rd book in the Carval series by Stephanie Garber. And I feel like Stephanie Garber does a good job with world building and the fantastical elements of her story. And that's why I've continued on with this series. I don't particularly enjoy the actual characters, but I thought she did a really good job of character development in the 2nd book, so I'm hopeful that I will enjoy this conclusion to the series. Well, what are you guys reading in April? I can't wait to hear from you, to hear what you're reading. Read a lot. Bye-bye. And I always forget to do this, but I've always wanted to ask you guys to do this. I want you to leave me the most random emoji you can find on your phone. I can't wait to see what creativity you guys come up with. All right, now I'm really leaving. Read a lot. Bye-bye.